So favorites and fails for the month of December. I think I'm a little bit late uploading this, but January always like escapes from me, so I'm constantly behind, which is never a good way to start the new year, but here we are. I did just want to say thank you so much for the support on YouTube throughout 2024. My channel here is very small, but the level of like feedback and engagement in the comments that I get is just so interesting, and I love the community side of it and just hearing like the feedback and experience that you have with products. And I love that we're able to have a discussion about like the industry as a whole, and hopefully we can continue doing that this year as well. So yes, thank you for being here, and if you aren't subscribed, subscribe. Now I normally have 6 products in these lists, but I only have 5 this time round, 3 faves and 2 fails. December was a bit of an odd month because I didn't really test a lot of new products. My skin was breaking out a little bit, probably weather related, but also in the prior month I was opening and testing a lot of new products, so I just really didn't give myself a chance to settle with anything properly. So December was a bit of a reset month. I just went back to old favorites, and I refocused on bringing back lotion P50 and tretinoin into my routine, because I do think my skin started to misbehave a little bit without my 2 like workhorse products. As much as retinol and all of those things are great, for some reason tret is really the retinoid that I need to keep things in check. That's already a lot of babbling, so let me get straight into the faves and fails, and I'll start with the fails this time round. My first fail is the Multi-Peptide lip mask. Bioma is one of those brands that I think is a little bit hit and miss. You know, they have great price points, so I try not to be too judgy of them, but I kind of think with just a little bit of extra care they could have made a better product. In some ways I feel like they have a lot of like Me Too products, as in they're just trying to emulate a formula of something that already exists, which is fine, but it means they're probably not creating something that's notable or special. This lip tide mask was totally fine, and the starting texture is quite pleasant. It's gelled, it feels silky, but then once it's applied, it actually feels like very heavy on the lip, so it's almost like I've applied 10 layers of another product. And that's also fine if it actually worked and it was actually properly moisturizing. But I feel like this product just gives a bit of a temporary sense of glossiness and nourishment, and once it fades away or wipes away, whatever, there's no real noticeable conditioning effect. So yeah, this is very much a super temporary product. I think some people might like it for its appearance, but I don't think it's really that functional. Also, the scent it has is like fruity sweet, but it's almost sickly sweet and very generic, so I would definitely not recommend this one. Next product is the Malaysia, I think it's how you say it, cleansing balm. Now I don't love to like drag small brands because it's just so hard to get a foot in the door in the market, but the reason I'm nitpicking on this one in my fails is mainly to do with the description of the product. So on their website they essentially say this rinses away with water, and that's like literally not what happens at all. Or I guess in a sense it does. It has a very pretty starting texture, like a gel oil balm, a lot like the Jordan Samuel cleanser, the Lisa Eldridge cleanser, and the Naturium creamy camellia cleansing oil. So very much that type of D-phase cleansing texture. And these cleansers notoriously never rinse well, so I don't know why I was thinking this particular cleanser would rinse. And I guess maybe it depends on how you classify rinsing well, because the cleanser does apply nicely, it breaks everything down well. When you add water, it does emulsify, and the actual milky part of the cleansing experience does rinse away cleanly. But the problem is it leaves behind so much residue. Like, this is such a heavy and thick film. I even struggled to remove it with a second cleanse, so I can't imagine anybody really enjoying this, and I think this has like 5-star reviews on their website. I honestly can't understand why. To me, a cleanser needs to cleanse, and it can't deposit its own film because that defeats the purpose. A lot of cleansers across the board do leave behind some sort of conditioning residue, but it's the type of residue that if you want you can remove easily with like a second cleanse, or the type of residue that at least doesn't feel filmy. But the residue from this cleanser feels like Teflon. It's like a waterproof coating, water beads off of it. It's just not It's just not right, and absolutely not the way that I would envision a cleanser ever performing. Next up is my list of faves, and as I mentioned at the start of the video, I've really gone back to old favorites just to support the reintroduction of tretinoin and lotion P50 in my routine. Those two I haven't isolated as favorites for this video because they're just forever favorites. And the first product on this list is Build Skincare B Cream, which is also a forever favorite soulmate, so it probably didn't need to be featured as like an isolated favorite for this particular month, because this is like my all-time favorite. But just because I didn't use very many other products, it's really the only one that made the list, and I love to talk about it, so here we are. Yeah, so that's Build Skincare B Cream. It's a lamella gel moisturizer, as I've discussed tons of times, and just has the most amazing affinity with my skin. I'll often try other new moisturizers, and I like a lot of them. I have several moisturizers in my rotation, but when I use B Cream, it is actually like going home. It just feels so comfortable and like safe, I don't know. And although B Cream is definitely basic by design, it does not have a bunch of bells and whistles. There's still some magical sorcery going on where the balance between the emollients and occlusives is exactly right. It is a lightweight texture, but I find it to be quite enveloping, so it is still super moisturizing. I think people with like Sahara dry skin might not find B Cream rich enough because it's not like noticeably oily or emollient. So if you prefer your moisturizer to have a surface feeling, you don't really get that type of feeling from B Cream. The best way that I've been able to come up with describing it is that it's like my skin recognizes B Cream and it just becomes part of it. So it's kind of like a lock and key, or like the passcode to my skin barrier. Just B Cream goes in, does its thing, and keeps my skin moisturized all day. And best of all, it absolutely never pills. I can use mineral sunscreen over it with no issue. I can layer whatever I want with it with no issue. I can put powder on top with no issue. It's just the perfect moisturizer. Keeping in mind though that it does lean light for its texture, not as light as a normal gel cream, but definitely lighter than a super waxy, buttery moisturizer. So yeah, although I happen to think that sometimes moisturizers are loaded with emollients and oils to give the illusion of a moisturizing effect, but it's actually not properly moisturizing or conditioning in the long term. B Cream is light, but actually moisturizing. So yeah, if I haven't stressed that 100 times enough. Next fave is the Naturium Multi-Peptide Advanced Serum, and this product I think is Naturium's best product, and actually one of my favorite age support, anti-aging, well-aging serums on the market across the board. They've just done a great job blending ingredients. Some advanced peptides are in there, ferulic acid, and Naturium as a signature decision uses a lot of encapsulated ingredients, so there's never an issue with layering. I think what I love most about it though is that it has a little bit more of like a fluid emulsion texture, so it feels a touch more nourishing than a lot of other serums on the market, but it doesn't add any level noticeable like emollients or greasiness to the skin, so it's super great to use in the morning. And so with that, I consider it both a hydrating and nourishing serum that would be appropriate across all skin types. As like a general thought in terms of like where I place this product, I consider it like a rejuvenating serum. And what I mean by that, it just has like a beautifying effect of the skin. It just makes everything smoother and seem more plump and like juicy and luscious, but doing it more so from the inside out. So yeah, I find this product to be super special. I'm a big fan of it. I've probably gone through 3, maybe 4 bottles by now. So highly recommend, especially if you're looking for a little bit of an all-in-one age support serum. Next up is the Prequel Skin Utility Gel. And I'm sorry for my international followers because Prequel is still US only. I really hope they're able to expand soon because I know there's a bit of a hunger developing for Prequel out there. I was able to try this product very early on. I think I had lab samples like way before this was planned to be launched. And I've always really enjoyed the texture of this product. It feels great on the skin, just a really nice lightweight gel that feels kind of cooling as well. but ultimately I couldn't really find where to integrate it. So it's a 20% glycerin gel, which sounded great as like a slugging option, but it's a little bit too light for slugging. So I ended up just putting it away, and I'd use it every now and then across my face when I wanted something lightweight. But then I think I was watching a video by Dr. Dre on Instagram, and she mentioned that she uses the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast gel, which I think is also a glycerin-based gel, and how she uses it as an eye cream. So I pulled out my Prequel Skin Utility Gel and started applying it a little bit as an eye mask, and it does have the most amazing hydrating skin plumping effect around the eye contour. And because it's like a dermatology brand, you know that it's just very low risk in terms of irritation and that sort of thing. So I don't specifically use it as an eye cream, I guess. I'll often apply it like even during the day, maybe a couple of hours after I've already done my skincare routine, and I just apply it on top as a mask. And then this is assuming I'm not really leaving the house, but I just leave it on to absorb slowly for an hour or so, however long it takes. My eye area, especially because I use acids and I creep it up kind of close, and I use Tret or other retinoids around my eye area regularly, my eyes do get prone to dryness and some peeling. It's because I get a little bit rough with my eye contour, so it needs a bit of extra TLC. And this product is exactly that, is like an extra level of TLC. And I think another great way of using it is to apply it as like an overnight mask. So maybe at the end of your skincare routine, you would apply a relatively, thin but still noticeable layer, and then just let that sit overnight. And I think it would work really well in that context as well. So that's the end of my favorite and fails for this month. Please let me know if you have any questions about any of the products that I mentioned. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.